still streaming too.
Yeah, you're still Mister.
It was just a map. There's Dora the Exploring this shit.
Okay. So, hi y'all. Shouldn't be super long. I'll get back to the RP. Whatever we as normal. We're gonna go over the monthly breakdown. Um, now out of date because I bought things yesterday. Script changes that are done, things that are coming in, and for this month. We're also going to talk about rules that we brought in. Going to talk about some Discord changes. Talk about some bugs and some errors and how to go about reporting them. Upcoming events, supporting the server, and then we're kind of chat and talk things out. Anyways, so whenever I made this, this was our monthly financial. I just recently bought a bunch of scripts. I bought a couple Y maps. This number is completely different. If you want an updated monthly financial breakdown, check it tonight. Google Sheets. You guys can see that enough. But overall, we didn't spend a lot originally this month outside of just cost. And then I got paid. Got a lot. So subscript changes. Sport banking has replaced some banks, which now allows for safe deposit boxes, deposit gold cash. You will also notice that there are working hours and closing hours for the banks. So all of the banks close by 10, except for it closes at 11, and then the one in Rhodes actually closes at 9. So keep that in mind. When you go, there won't be a teller there, and you won't. Warp inventory ammo is now stored in your gun belt, and that is where you'll shop from. If there was ammo in bows, in tomahawks, in guns, in anything that has ammunition, upon implementing the script, that ammunition is gone. You have in your pockets an ammo belt out of a belt, or it automatically will be done, or we'll have to go buy it. Another thing that we noticed with the Warp Inventory is that it duplicated every item in your pack rat. We're now more of a pack rat. You will need to drop all of your duplicates and in or a discrete location somewhere like that. So then at the next restart, cleared out. Thin weapons, we upgraded, changed some things, crafting, mostly the native weapons and stuff. So it now requires different components for. It also makes are utilizing of the animal parts and more materials. Just I think even blacksmithing piece of that in mind. Yes, I know crafting poison arrows is more difficult now. That's intentional. Scripts that we are going to be bringing in next, like that are my biggest priorities, besides crafting, is farming. I'm updating, so you'll be mostly growing veggies, fruits, and then the stuff that you pick out in the wild, thanks to the ecology script, that is where that stuff will come from. So if you are unsure on where to find certain, you'll need to find the native who where it is, because they have done trials and stuff to find everything. And then Drug Empire, this will allow for the crafting of certain drugs, the selling and distribution of drugs, certain robberies to come into effect. You'll be able to sell drugs to will also tip off Elio's. Um, the big thing is that if there's a marshal on, then it'll tip off the marshals thing. There's not marshals on. I believe it's on NP police, which they may just kill you. So you'll have to abide by the. If you get gunned down, you have to RP out your injuries. NPC that does it to you guys. Sorry. So we added a new rule because we kind of noticed that there was a significant gap in time for a lot of different RP. And it's due to a few different things. Like people get, tired, people get out, people get busy. Life can be a distraction in and of itself from the things that we use to distract us. With that said, um, it is unfair for RP partners to not hold when things are happening. If they don't know, if people, know, if you kind of ghost people, it really sucks because then they're like, well, what do I do with the story arc? Do I just let it fizzle? Or do I just act like it resolved? What do we do? So CT and I, specifically, kind of proposed this rule and then I kind of worded it a nice little bow. But unless the individuals involved in the roleplay are alerted that someone will be absent from the roleplay for an extended period, and the roleplay is not continued, people involved in the roleplay are allowed to move on the story without everyone. It's their choice. So let's say you have a character who has a warrant out for their arrest, and hasn't been served the warrant, and it's been 4 months. That warrant's expired. The charges are dropped. That person. The same thing that goes into that as well. If you are trying to serve a warrant to someone and they're refusing to get on, they will get hit with a fail RP strike. Plain and simple. It's not fair. It's not fair if someone's avoiding a consequence for an in-character action. Don't want to. And that goes with like court and prison RP. We kind of made some little outlines here, which I'm going to share over here for everyone. But if someone isn't given their court date and court case RP after a week of no discussion has not happened, the case is without prejudice, so it can be tried again. And the case is settled. So we're not going to have people sitting in Cisco waiting for a court date for endless amounts of time. There has to be some discussion. If the court RP is held up due to the defendant not showing up, it will be marked as a failure to appear. The case is settled, and the individual will be given a fail RP. Serving warrants, we already talked about that. Medical RP, if you're avoiding doing medical RP and okay, my character has to have surgery on their head, but I don't want to do that. So I RP'd out that was needed. I'm just going to avoid getting on for months. Well, the RP is going to continue on without you, and you may get hit with a fail RP. Same thing with doctors. If you are purposely getting on your doctor because you're tired of RPing as a doctor, but you don't tell anyone, same thing. You'll probably actually just end up losing the job. This goes for any type of RP. We are just tired of people not communicating. That's all we ask. If you think that you're going to be gone for a while, if you need a break from RP, that's fine. Tell us. That way we can figure out where to go, what direction of the RP. That's my soapbox for that. Discord changes. I'm always doing something. I added the catching the, which I feel like has been beneficial. It allows for people who is in the server in real time in two different ways. You can see the graph, kind of peak times, and who's in, and you can also see the ping. Helpful for me as the server owner. I can monitor, like, okay, this person has ping, it's okay. Oh my god, this person's at 4,000 ping. What is happening? It allows me to kind of monitor those things. There's also the map. Now, yes, the map shows you where people are. If I see that this is becoming used in a way to metagame and robberies and things like that against other players, I will hide the blips. I will hide where people are, and you will see that there are people over on the left hand side, along with the weather. So don't abuse it. Use it to kind of gather where like the main area of population is time, but don't be like, oh, well, I'm gonna go rob CT today, so I see exactly where he is. I'm just gonna go straight there without really any type of RP to indicate where they. That makes sense, guys. The next one is the whitelist job hub. Some people can see it, some people can't. But mostly, it is meant to hold channels for certain jobs. So right now, there is the whitelisted jobs channel, which shows all of the whitelisted jobs. And then there's the gunsmith hub and then the rancher hub. This is mostly for people with those jobs to communicate with one another, maybe set up events with one another, things like that. If CT and I have anything specific that we need to share with those jobs, we could put it in there, because there really wasn't a spot for like ranchers and gunsmiths to really talk that wasn't in a whole separate Discord, and that gets hard to manage. We're trying to reduce the need for a lot of separate Discords unless someone wants to have a separate Discord. Like there's the smithing guild, like that's perfectly fine. I encourage that. However, I don't check that often, so it's easier to ping in the gunsmith section and be like, hey, I have a question about this ammo stuff. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. The next thing we have is the medicine person role. This is the equivalent to a doctor role, but it's the native role. Since we now have multi-job in, we have now hired on 2 doctors who are both natives. But obviously they didn't go to medical school, not formally doctors, but they know natural medicine. So it made sense to create a role that's called the medicine person. And then lastly, we added another role, which is the Window Rock natives. This is for the new tribe that will be coming. Upcoming events for September and October. I put them both together because September isn't going to have a ton. It's going to have the normal monthly things that we do. And then October is going to be full of events because I love Halloween. Halloween's my favorite, time. I guess my favorite holiday, and thus October is probably one of my favorite months out of the entire year. So September 2nd is next Friday. We have fight night. He and I will not be there, but we do not want that to hold up fight night. If you guys still want to do fight night, please show up where you normally do. I will post a poster for everything. It's always ran by the casino boat. It's up to the casino boat to host it. Now, if you guys end up not wanting to do it on Friday and you want to hold off, that's completely up to y'all, but CT and I will not be there. Hunting trip. We're going to be hosting a hunting trip out of Manzanita on September 11th. That is on another Friday. Wait, no. That is on a Sunday. I have not set a time, so it may be during the day. So people have to stay up super late because I can't stay up super late anymore. Or we may do early evening. I don't know yet. But September 11th, movie night is going to be on the 15th. That's a Thursday. And then there's the community meeting on September 30th. Now, October, The entire month of October, we are going to be dealing with an undead nightmare. It's all going to be non-canonical, so obviously we're not going. There's not going to be this knowledge of, oh my god, zombies exist because it's not a supernatural server. Um, but there's going to be zombies for the entire month of October, as long as things don't start crashing. If we start crashing, we might leave it for like certain days too. But as of right now, the entire month of October, zombies. Um, we will still have Fight Night on October 7th. I'm wanting to hopefully change it up a little bit and make it so you guys will be fighting zombies, like NPCs, that instead of each other. We are also going to do, and this was something that he had interest in, which was the murder on the DFR, which is railway. So if you guys are familiar with the murder on the Trans-Orient Express or whatever it is, that's what it was called. Um,
Yeah.
Basically, same thing. We're gonna have a murder mystery on the railway, and everyone's going to be in character trying to figure out who killed someone and who is killing. If you were in Toontown, we did the haunted boat ride through the swamp. We want to do that again because that was a lot of fun. So on the 21st, we will do boat ride. On the 30th, we will do trick or treating. So basically, how this will go is there will be designated spots for people to go to pick up treats, tricks, and everyone that is going to be giving out stuff will be able to choose what they are giving out. We will make sure that you have a good supply of things to give away. And we encourage everyone to dress up in outfits with masks, things like that. And there might be some creepy, spooky things happening throughout the thing. I'm going to try and set up some stuff to make like Saint Denis kind of spooky, Valentine kind of spooky, and at the native tribes I can put stuff to kind of make it look spooky. So, and then we take them away after the 30th. And then our community meeting is going to be on the 28th of October. Now you see over here on the bottom left where it says October question mark for spooky movie and game nights. Throughout the month, we want to do game nights where we play spooky games like Phasmophobia or Town of Salem, where we are dealing with murder mysteries. Friday the 13th, Dead by Daylight, things like that that are spooky there that we can all play. We also want to do scary movie nights or days to encourage getting into the feel of the holiday. Um, Supporting the server. So some of the big things that we ask is voting for us on Tracky server. It creates traffic for people. Server people check out places that are voted very highly on Tracky server. Most of the time, we are voted the top server. If not the top server, the second to the top, and that's without paying for the monthly boost that a lot of servers. So those of you that do vote for us every day, thank you. And like I said, you could vote every day. It posts in the spam channel at 2 p.m. CST every day. Good, and you can vote every 24 hours. Another way you guys kind of help support us is rating us on Redem. So whenever you first open up the Redem browser and you see our server and you click on it, there is a spot where you can leave a comment and a rating. Feel free to do that. Feel free to tell us tell people what we're all about. Tell us right too. Tell us what we're doing wrong. That's the way to get people on the server. I know that's been the biggest, request from people is, oh, we want to see more players. That's going to help. CT and I, we're going to be keeping the server going because we like to play here. So if it's just me and him always playing, then it's me and him always playing. But we wanna encourage people. Another way to do it is there is a CFX post that we have made with the server, and I can share that link if people are interested. But you can go there and comment on the post, bump that post. Again, let people know that we are active and that we exist and what things are coming into the server, because that's what people look for. And when I say people look for it, they do. I see people constantly looking for places to go. And then the last one is being present. We don't ask for money. We're not pay to play. We're not play to be here. We appreciate the money that does come to us through donations or through straight donations or Patreon, but we just ask for your participation stories. That's all we want. We want to hang out with our friends. Or you guys are friends. So let's chat. I'm going to questions. Wait, the map was a thing I didn't even know. Yep. Look at the updates channel more often. Yeah, I'm calling you out. Can I shoot at people in the boat and yell, "Stay out of my swamp"? Sure. One. Go ahead, see.
No, I was just gonna say that um, whenever we do that swamp ride thing, that um, everybody's expected to be unarmed at the time because nothing's going to be killing you. It's just supposed to be a little, just like a spooky ride, basically, just like you would go to like in a amusement park or something.
Yep.
So there's gonna be like little events and stuff going on around you, and like with Jasper, like he'd be shooting at the boat, but he wouldn't be shooting at the people, and things like that. Um, so
Yeah. It's mostly just to be spooky. That would be. Do you have to have a specific job to do the drug empire stuff? No. So the drug empire stuff is not going to be job lock stuff. So it's meant to just be open to criminals. You're not going to be creating stuff that like the menagerie would be making, but you'll be making some other stuff that you can still sell. Um, you just don't have access legal stuff that they're doing, because that is legal under their business license. But the drug empire thing will not be a job lock thing. The only thing that's, I guess, technically job locked in it is the requirement for marshal stuff like that. Yep, there'll be NPC sell drugs too. Granted, they will not pay out a ton. That's just prevent people from grinding the payouts for the drug empire. Um, but there'll be NPCs that'll buy from you. There might be some NPCs that are undercover police that will alert the police of the drug deals. Things like that. It's just another way to kind of get some criminal RP going, um, and cause some chaos in the state. Um, drugs will give you like being high and stuff like that. I haven't messed with what exactly they'll do. Like how like moonshine like will gold core, that stuff might happen. But again, we have it set to where you can't eat and all of that at the same time, anyways, because you have to actually drink the moonshine. You have to eat the item to prevent people from power gaming essentially by eating, let's say ginseng in the middle of a fight or in the middle of a police chase and then getting away because they can't be stopped. There'll be benefits and hindrances that drugs give you. Like you might I don't know. I mean, you might shoot up heroin and then start puking, but you might get some gold cores. But you're gonna stop and puke a few times. I haven't messed with the effects of the drugs. I haven't touched this yet. But that is next priority. Kinds of things. Also, speaking of scripts, we do have a new crafting script. Place thin crafting that we've had so many problems with. It's a much cleaner crafting script. It's a much more effective crafting script. So I'll be working on getting that set up hopefully this weekend. Just by copying all the recipes over and getting it formatted. And then we'll be playtesting it before. Keep your eyes out. You're so close to getting crafting in. I promise, guys. Any other questions? You guys could probably just go ahead and ask questions. Try to
All right.
I do guys being guys